And friends. We are very excited today to have this meetup, and we're very glad that we're holding it here in Bosch. Our team is extremely excited that we get this opportunity for networking and meeting and being a part of this vibrant Zephyr community. So I'm Lavanya Ravi, and I'm an associate software engineer with my team here, Security Building Blocks, Bosch. BGSW boasts an incredible 25-year history, and being a very software leader with its incredible history, it has very vast chain of software products and services. So we also contribute to many open source projects, and then we are very happy that Yashwanth here, our teammate, will talk about what all we have done here in the open source project field. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. So how is everyone doing now? So how many are from Bangalore, by the way? It's nice. Okay, so welcome to Bosch and welcome to Bangalore. I hope the traffic didn't bother you much. So we actually planned this event so that traffic will not affect us much. So that's why we have kept this time where 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. where we will go out when traffic is not there, we'll come in when traffic is not there. Okay, so I am Yashwanth Singh. So actually I lead some projects in Bosch here. Basically I work on low-level things, so that's my passion. I work on FPGAs and low-level firmware design. It's mainly on research background. We do research, we do POCs, we prove it, and we get fun. That's how we work, our team work. I have a team here sitting. I have Nihal, who has helped us hosting this event, and my team is here hosting it. I also thank Hussein for this, so that we can host the event like this. So as a team, we mainly focus on two things. One is mainly the innovation, and second thing is the open source. So whatever project we have done is complete. At least 75% of it is open source. So we have two main projects, which is RustBoot and Shakti. Let's talk about the history of open source in Bosch. So definitely we have open source projects. 3 years back, we thought let's give a flavor of Rust here. So then what we decided is Rust is a new language. So a couple of people, 2-3 people, including me. So we had a vision that Rust can take over the embedded space at least, systems level space at least. So we started implementing everything in Rust. Like 3 people were sitting and doing. So that is when we released our first stack called as RustBoot. It was just 3 people, 4 people who had this vision, and now at least 500 people in Bosch are having the same vision to implement Rust in Bosch initiative. And we also have something called as Rustverse, where we connect people around the world. We connect with us, building the ecosystem. So how basically we work is we have a vision, we have an idea, we build it, we make Bosch to contribute it, and we open it for community, and they will contribute it. This is what we are trying to work. Getting Rust inside the automotive industry itself is a very big task. So we had to do a lot of experiments like memory analysis, something like the performance, right? When it comes to embedded industry or something like semiconductor industry, the main two things are performance and memory, right? If something is having high performance, then definitely will have less memory, right? So we have to tackle both. So we have to prove a lot of GBs here in Bosch. So they have to convince them the Rust is the right fit, because industry where everybody is using C, getting Rust there is a big challenge. So we are fighting in this thing, and we are from last 3 years, and pretty much we have got a space now. So almost every department now, at least R&D space, are trying to implement Rust. This year, if you ask me, there's a lot of funding is going on for Rust implementation, and we are also going ahead with it. Okay. So let's talk about our two main projects, RustBoot and Shakti. So RustBoot is something which is a secure bootloader. This is the first stack what we built, which will help you boot up your kernel securely. It is a low-level design, entirely written in Rust. This is a project you can find in a repository. A second project what we are working on is Shakti. So how many of you know Shakti? Okay, so Shakti is a project from IIT Madras. So to design a open source microprocessor. Okay, so it's an initiative to have design open source, SDK open source, everything open source. So from this initiative, everybody, the entire startup ecosystem and the new emerging industry are trying to focus on cheap hardware. You know, when you also make the hardware also like open source, it goes very cheap. That's the initiative of Indian government to have our own chip. So like how you have Intel, NXP for different countries, India has Shakti. It's like Shakti is India. So we have collaboration with IIT Madras. So I lead the project with IIT Madras to have a Rust support for Shakti. So right now what we have done is, so next week we are supposed to release a Rust SDK. So this is like a pre-release event for you guys. So I'm just opening it for you. So safe hardware abstraction layer written entirely in Rust. So we have written a Shakti Rust SDK for Shakti, where you can boot up your Shakti processor with Shakti. There are mainly 3 processors in Shakti: Vajra, Pinaka, and Parashu. So all these are processors which is powerful to even boot Linux. So there we have written a layer, low-level layer written in Rust, which can help you have a memory-safe booting. Okay, this is the plan. So we have a couple of things planned with them. We will be releasing in this year entirely. So if you guys want to be a part of it, you guys can contact me. I believe you have an email ID, right? Also, you can have a QR code on your table, right? You can scan that. You can connect with me. I will send the details about it. This is about Shakti thing. Just open the browser. So I'll just show you the stack. So this is the Shakti RISC-V file, completely open. So you guys can look around. I have some examples also here. I'll be adding more commits. Our team is also working on it. We'll be adding more commits. It's completely done in Rust. So Rust has these 2 main features like memory safety and all this borrow checking and opening. So this will add an advantage to have a security in your development. So you write a software, it will be secure. That's how we are planning it. So if you want like much detail about it, you can also go to the book. I have written a small book called as Rust in Shakti book, where you can, it's even this is also open source. You can also read this book, and you can also have step-by-steps are given where you can add support to your Shakti processor. This is like a documentation for Shakti in Rust. So right now Shakti is not taped out, so it's still in the design stage. Development is happening in IIT Madras and going on. So you can dump the design in FPGA, and then you can take my Shakti Rustin book and you can add support to it. It will run up, it will boot up. So this is about it. This is about open source contribution, what's happening in Bosch and what we are doing here. There are pretty much more projects what we are implementing, and these 2 are the most famous in Bosch. Apart from this, let's come to Zephyr. Right now we have some plans to add support to Rust for Zephyr if team agrees with it. Right now, if you see Bosch, right, they are testing it. There's some testing phases going on. They're implementing, testing it. In production grid, Zephyr is not there yet, but their plans are there where how to add it. So we're in talks with them. Is what's going on. So it's about open source development, what's happening in Rust. Like if you can feel free to connect with me, I have QR code and everything. Thank you.